All right, so we're going to finish off with also a very close friend of mine, Pranav, who's helped out a lot of our marketing and our analytics in the company related to digital advertising. And I always love kind of showcasing what we do because it's real. None of this stuff is like theory. Pranav Pranav, can you give a quick background? I know you've worked working with a lot of very large brands before starting Pinecone, so I'll give some context to kind of fine tune the conversation.
Sure. Thanks, JP. So I like to call myself a professional stalker because that's what we do on the internet. You follow people, showing them products that they might end up buying, and all based off of their behavior and their location, where they're, or what their background is, and so on. But I have over a decade experience formulating campaigns anywhere from ANA Airlines all the way in Japan to billion-dollar companies like Ralph Lauren, Saks Fifth Avenue, Yahoo, Audible. And essentially, what I do is I do the strategy behind what they do and where their ads show up. And that's something I want to talk through today. And over the past decade, obviously, with the implementation of AI, a lot has changed. And the idea here is I want to share tools that you can use essentially starting tomorrow and understand where your brand is, where your competitors are. And if you were to launch a campaign tomorrow, how you can go about doing that with the help of AI. All right. So it's going to start with how advertising was in the past, and I'll skim through this pretty quick in the interest of the time. But previously, even 20 years ago or even a decade ago, brands needed a campaign. They spent months planning with agencies, with creative people, hundreds of people involved. So they spent tens of thousands of dollars, created ad concepts, and you essentially had 10 to 20 different ads. And the problem was you spent a lot of money before you started actually showing these ads to people. And in today's day and age, your customers have 15 to 20 platforms daily that they're browsing. There's a bunch of different ads they're looking at, and their attention span is, according to a study, it's under 8 seconds. So, how do you get in front of them while giving them more content, paying less, while they're paying less attention to your ads, and being profitable doing all of this? And that's where AI comes in. AI helps us predict multiple different variations, different attributes from an audience, and we can try 10,000 different ad copies and 10,000 different ad creatives and showcase the user exactly what they want to see. And to build this, what I suggest is starting off with a AI stack. And now I'll share my screen and I'll go through. Let's go through a brand that we all know. JP, do you have a brand in mind that we can use to essentially build a whole campaign?
You know what? Nike just popped into my head. I love Shoe Dog.
Like
It's a
it's
good book.
okay, let's do it. So, first thing, with the help of AI, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of research. Now, let me do running shoes. And this website, it's trends.google.com. Everything I'm going to show here is essentially free or has like a free trial, so you can try this on your own as well. So, we are Nike today, and we're going to build our brand. So, I'm going to launch a newest shoe, and I'm going to see how people are searching for in terms of running shoes. And as you can see on the right hand side, you can even have suggestions based off of different things. So if I were to type running shoes here, it can also find me terms people are searching for in real time. And it gives us search volume trends, geographic breakdown, related queries, and seasonal patterns. And once it loads, here you go. So we have our competition here. So on Adidas, New Balance, Asics, and so on, Brooks. And we see what type of searches are coming up right now. So on shoes are pretty high, on cloud, and you can see the difference. So they've gone down 20% in the past 24 hours. So there's some football, there's MLK Day, NFL games, and so on and so forth. And let me do past week. Okay. So we have on clouds again on the top. If we type in just running shoes, so they're indexing really. So what we or look at is what's indexing high. What are your customers searching for? And then if we were to say compare Adidas and Nike, there you go. You look at the trends. So average interest trends. and you have Nike shoes, Air, and this is all trends that are showing up on Google. So before we launch a product line, what we're looking at is what is the interest like? So for running, is it high? Is it growing? If we were to, for example, type in winter jackets, because it's winter right now, what does that look like? It's going to take a quick second. There you go. And we have North Face right here. And then we see the top queries, North Face jacket. So clearly there is a winner in terms of winter jackets, what people are searching for. So we first look at the search trends. And if a company is showing up at the top, or if we see your competitor on there, we need to go and dig deeper into what that actually is and what people are searching for. And this is where another tool comes into play. It's called Answer the Public. And I've searched North Face here. What this does is it scrapes Google, looks at the autocomplete data, and visualizes every question that people are asking for. I'm going to use North Face for this example. So, what it's doing is on Google, what are the autocompletes doing? So, North Face beanie, North Face Borealis, backpack, and you have purchase a men's insulated parka online and so on and so forth. So you could look at what people are searching for, what people are shopping, what social media is showing, and what people are searching for in the AI models as well. And this one, you can pay for a subscription and it unlocks multiple different things. But the lesson is if your website does not answer these specific questions that are being asked, you're invisible to these search engines. And that's what we're trying to build here. So we've searched for our main terms, then we look at what are people searching for and what are the autocompletes doing. And then we build a website that actually answers these questions. Is this a product, worth for a small business? How does the product compare to your competition? What are the benefits of the product? And so on and so forth. So with that information, we can go to page insights. So we know what people are searching for and what's trending. It's a Google tool called Page Speed Insights. So here I'm going to type in Nike.com, analyze. And what this does is it's analyzing their website and looks like it failed. It actually doesn't have the load times that Google deems necessary. So for your website to show up at top. And the reason we're looking at this is because Google's AI judges your site before a human ever sees it. If the score is red, Google will charge you more for each ad. So because they deem your user is experiencing a poor interface and overall experience itself. So 53% of the mobile users abandon sites that take more than 3 seconds to load. So this one has about 2.2 seconds and majority of them are in the red, but it's still not in the passing stage. And this is where if you're running the ads and you're getting someone to click on the ads, you shouldn't be sending them to a page that doesn't load properly or takes forever to show up on mobile and people are just going to leave. So you take the information, we've looked at the competition, we've looked at the trends, then we looked at how our current website looks like, and then we analyze internally what that website does when someone lands on there. And this is where another tool comes into play. It's called Clarity. It's by Microsoft, and this is 100% free to use, and you can plug in your own websites to see how, or you have to add this on the website, and after about 30 days, you can see how people are interacting with it. And I'm going to show you a demo on how that looks like. If we click on live demo, so when someone lands on your website, how do they interact with your site? Are they having any rage clicks? Are they going to the right place? And here's an example I'll give you. When I was working with one of the tax consultants in back in the day, having the main CTA button or call to action button, it being changed from in the middle to the right caused them to have 34% more sales. And it's just human psychology, right? Like it's literally based off of a simple thing. The button still exists right in front of you, but just moving it from top right to middle caused them to click it more often. And that can increase your revenue. So you're looking internally to understand how the patterns go through of like a consumer, how they're interacting with your website. And then based off of that, you can take insights and edit the website to make sure you're showing them the right content at the right place when the consumer is there. So far, what we've done is we've looked at what are the trends for our product. We've looked at the competition. We've looked at the trends. And then we've analyzed what are the trends. And then we've analyzed what are the trends for our product. We've looked at what are the trends for our product. We've looked at the competition. We've looked at what are the trends for our product. We've looked at the competition. we've looked at how our website is, and then we've looked at once they enter our website, how they're interacting with the website. Now we go into the ad strategy itself. And one of the easier ways to do that is ad transparency. So if we go to adtransparency.google.com, let me just go there. What you'll find is this free tool where you're able to use AI to scrape your competitor websites to see what kind of ads they're running. So in this case, let me try out Nike.com. There you go. It tells me exactly what ads they're running across the entire search engine. So I can look at the type of copy they're using, which products they're promoting, if they're using specific terminology that I have seen in the search trends. So, for example, one of the things where North Face popped up was the parka. If we were typing North Face and we see more of the parkas, you can see, okay, that's the reason people are tending to type that more often. So you don't need to guess what your competition's doing. Google publishes it, and this exists for Facebook. It exists for TikTok. It exists for all of the platforms that are enable you to run ads. So I'm just using Google as an example here, but you can see different variations that a competitor is doing, and essentially use that to feed it to one of the tools that JPS talked about from an AI agent perspective, and say, hey, I know people are searching for a specific product. I know this is the type of imagery they're looking at, and this is what I sell. So give me AI assets based off of that. And so you're going to use all of this information that you're finding in research to build your own campaign that you don't have to guess. You don't have to spend millions of dollars. You can already have everything ready. And from there, we create our campaign. So now we need to look at the ads themselves. And this is something I'm sure in the past classes you've seen. We generate copy. So for this one, I'll pull up ChatGPT and I'll ask it a simple question. So I'll say, I'm a running shoes brand. I need to build an ad campaign on Google Ads. Give me headlines and descriptions. And we need to add one of the USPs. So I'll say we have special technology that helps you run faster. I'm just making this up. So now it goes through and builds the actual copy that we can use in Google Ads. So here you go. So run faster, feel stronger, and you have and it also knows how many characters are needed. So obviously Google allows only everything that's under 30 characters for headlines, and then description needs to be under 90 characters. So it gives me different types of angles, so technology angle, running, and you can customize this as you want. I would definitely encourage, this is where the human element needs to come in. You need to add as many USPs that your brand stands for. What makes you different from the competition? Add some keywords that you've seen in your research, and if you run into specific challenges on your website, add those as well. So if people are not immediately going to a specific product, or a specific product is more lucrative, you can add that information here to help it build those specific headlines and descriptions. And that's where the human layer comes in. And this is where you don't just copy paste. You need to understand, does this sound like us? Is this accurate? Is this the unique value that we provide? And once you have that information, you can use tools like Canva, or another one is FreePick, which I can show you. Actually, let's go to FreePick. This is something I had generated. So I pulled up North Face's website and I looked at a shoe and they had. So I copied that and then put it into this image generator and said, give me a model wearing these shoes. And it generated this image, which I can directly use. I don't have any copyright issues if North Face was my own brand. And I can put it into production and I can have Google create multiple variations based off of that. And we can do the same thing with another image, and I can show you live. Let me go to Nike's website. So here we have Nike's website. I'm going to go to, let's say, basketball shoes. I'm going to look at these. So upload that. And the best thing about Free Pick is that you can choose what model you want to run it under. So you can choose if you want Nano Banana, I know JP is a fan of that, so you can choose Nano Banana, or you can put it on auto and it chooses whichever one is the closest or it's going to get you the best result for your specific prompt. So I'll say, put the shoes in at image one, which is this image, on a model and recreate the image. And then I can choose a style. So I'll say, let's do editorial. And then I'll hit, and you can select specific size. So if you want social media, anything of that sort, you can click on that and hit generate, and it starts generating. While that's doing that, I can show you a similar example here. So this is Canva. You can use Canva AI in a similar fashion. I did that earlier with the winter jacket. So I'll say running shoes, give me an ad for lime green running shoes from Nike, create the images. And these are basic prompts. Obviously, you've learned much deeper and complex prompts, but this is very basic to get us going. There you go. So obviously, we need to edit copy and so on and so forth, but you get the idea of what it's creating. And you can use this to create multiple variations and show the user exactly what they want to see. Let's say you're advertising in New York, you show them street side. You're advertising somewhere in LA, you show them running by the beach. So you can use different variations to create ads. And this was not possible even 5, 6 years ago. We had to do one photo shoot, have the models come in, and you take the pictures and you just use the same pictures again and again and again. And it didn't usually communicate with every type of user that sees the ad. Let's see if what Tweet picks. So there you go. So it generated an image. It used the same exact shoes, and we can do different styles if you want, and regenerate it, and it will go on creating that. So once we have the copy and the creative, what we do is we take all of this and put it into Google Ads. So in this case, I'm going to use Google Ads to showcase how a campaign gets built. So let me pull, I just created a demo account just to showcase a few things here. So we do create a campaign, new campaign. I'm going to create one without any guidance, and I'm going to use their Performance Max. So Performance Max is their AI driven campaign where it tests the copies and creatives and audiences across every single Google platform. So as you can see, they have Gmail or Google search, YouTube, Gmail, Google Maps, Gemini, and more. But sample website, continue. I'm just going to leave the campaign name as is. And what I want to showcase here is once you've done the research, once you know the keywords and you have your copy and your ads, how easy it is to just plug it into an ad platform. And this can be translated to Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, as I mentioned, and how easy is it to actually go live. So I'm going to say location, United States. We don't have any political ads. And here's where it starts getting real. So I'm going to say, just go do Nike business name. I can just give it few of the headlines. So I'm just going to copy these, put them in here, generate. And obviously this account is built on an email management platform. That's why you see it's already giving me all the headlines, but you see how it generated train for your next phrase, chase the best train, and so on and so forth based off of the copy that I've given, and it gives you examples as well. The other thing it does is it's going to look at top searches and give me a strength. So right now it says incomplete, but it gives me strength of how good your ad's going to perform based off of the analysis. And then you have your long headlines already pre-generated here, but if we were to build it from scratch, we would just copy paste it in there. So you have your descriptions, and even for the images, Google Ads gives you ability to generate images. So I can put in a prompt and have the images created. In this case, we already have those. So we take one of these, upload that on here, and then you're ready to hit next and publish the campaign. So that's how easy it becomes using AI for you to do the research, look at your competition, build your ads, and publish it. So all of that gets done literally within a day, which previously it wasn't even possible. And What you're giving Google is you're giving the ability for it to run thousands of ad combinations across all Google channels. It learns what combinations work with different types of audiences. And then, based off of the high converting audiences, it's going to continue to show them based on the clicks, the website visits, and so on and so forth. And once the campaign is live, you can actually go in and look at themes and search terms that people are searching for. So, this one does not have anything active, but here's where you would actually start seeing what people are searching for when your ads are showing up. And you take that data and give it to an agent. Again, similar to what JP built, you give all of that in a CSV file and have it analyze, is your campaign running well or not?
Awesome. And what I always realize with all the people that I work with, how fortunate I am to have access to great team members and partners from that standpoint. Do you have your contact info if anybody wants to reach out to you?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Do you already share?
Yeah, you can
I'll put it
share it
in the
on the
chat.
screen. I've always tried to promote people that I work with that I trust that actually have generated results. I think with Pranav, I don't know how many thousands of loans that we've originated working with you over the years and stuff like that. And now with on the insurance company as well, scaling it up with thousands of potential customers calling in to get life insurance and stuff like that with my other company. But it's been great working with Pranav all these years on a variety of different projects and new companies that I've started, and really trust him from that standpoint. I know, again, a lot of these are pretty technical. All I always know whenever I go through these, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't have the time. But I would say, worst case scenario, if you do have a digital agency, use the video and the information to like, double check, do at least are they using a lot of these different types of tools and stuff? Because again, it's evolving so fast. A lot of the big agencies are just unable to adapt quick enough. And I always find like the mid-size and leaner agencies that I've worked with over the decades have ended up outperforming and costing a lot less from that standpoint. Um, if you have any questions, obviously you can always reach out to Pranav directly. Going a little bit backwards with like 0 seconds, Matt asked a question about Hex, and Ben kind of answered it. What I also would say is, I think like if you're looking at AI agents versus Hex, think of it as Hex is like Excel on crack, right? Like you're not going to ask an Excel question and try to format everything in like Excel on an LLM. And that's kind of how I look at it. It's this such a high level and then or much more advanced. And like what Prenda was saying, you can marry marketing analytics and data and research with internal corporate information research, pull all that data together. It's designed around data analytics as opposed to like a regular chat AI agent. I like it more for specific questions that are around language and answering it. You can get reports out of it, but that's not really what it's designed for. It's not really designed for more advanced analytics and stuff like that. Well, thanks guys.